Proshare, Nigeria's leading financial information hub, and AFEX Commodities Exchange, as part of efforts in deepening the commodities exchange market in Nigeria, signed an information partnership agreement in Lagos. It marked a new chapter in the provision of reliable and credible information from the commodities exchange to the investment public. Giving the opening remarks, the group head business and markets for Proshare, Grace Adejare Ajuwon, said the partnership with AFEX keys into the mandate of educating, enlightening, and empowering the investors on developments in the commodities market.
This signing ceremony, it's all about information partnership. Over the years, Proshare has been in partnership with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NAST, OTC Exchange, Securities Exchange, FMDQ OTC Exchange as well. And the aim for us is to, as much as possible, ensure that investors have access to information to make intelligent decisions. And for you to be able to do that, you need access to news, data, analysis, analytics, and also be able to execute trades seamlessly. And for Proshare, what we want to do is to ensure that it's a digital hub that harnesses all of this. So securities from equities, fixed income, forex, commodities, and what have you is all available. All information you need is available on Proshare. That's why we are happy that this is happening, because it ties up with our remit to offer enlightenment, education, and empowerment to the Nigerian investor. And for us again at Proshare, all we do centers around ensuring that timeliness, credibility, and reliability is the center of what we do. So the information that we pass out there, we ensure that it's credible enough. That's why you see that all of the content that we share has sources. So for all the sources, we don't try to acclaim that everything is from Proshare. That's why this partnership is important. So people out there can see that, okay, we don't know it all. But yes, we work with the experts on all the various markets and the securities exchanges to ensure that the information that investors are getting is credible enough for them to be able to make intelligent decisions. Also, we've over the years been able to work with capital market operators as well. And what we do is, as much as possible, we sign an agreement to ensure that the information we are getting from them is covered. So we are not we are not accused for plagiarism or not following globally best practices in what we do.
Mr. Ayodeji Balogun, the country manager AFEX Nigeria, described the decision to work with Proshare as timely, considering the need to develop an agri financial market architecture and a new asset class.
Creating agricultural financial assets, it's sort of a mixed feeling. It's a sweet spot that I can connect to my rural, I can contribute to the people that produce food for me. So there's an emotional appeal and an excitement that comes with it. But then walking through the whole securitization process from a farm to the commodities, to the instruments, to the tradable, it could be a handful. And I think a long-standing partnership like this will help both parties, share knowledge very freely and openly, and create a capacity to distill this information in a way and slip bites that are easy to consume for the audience. We understand that we are all market regulators or self-regulatory organizations, and at the core of what we do is to protect the investors and make sure that there's price transparency in all the instruments to the benefit of the investor, but also primarily to the benefit of the producers that are the other side of the transaction. So for us, this is strategic. It's coming at the right time, at a time when we've spent 4 years building the agricultural infrastructure that can enhance the securitization of these assets. And now we are actually positioned to roll out a number of financial instruments for the capital market because we feel you need to build a very strong foundation that can carry the weight but also create alternative investment assets in the market, and the market so dearly needs it now. You need an asset class that can balance out your portfolio, but not just that, one that actually behaves differently from the classicals, and that's what commodities will present.
Chief Operating Officer of Proshare, Reshu Baga, speaking from India via Skype, was optimistic that the collaboration will unlock the potentials of the commodities exchange and bring transparency to the market.
To create transparency in the market, because in any market, if there is no transparency, it's very difficult to get investors to invest in that market. So AFEX should always try to keep investors up to date with information. Like when I think about trading in commodities, like they should know more about the service providers and basic delivery centers all over Nigeria. What about the process of settlement in commodities? Like what kind of deliveries are available, or contract deliveries are available with AFEX? Investors mitigate risk through investments and trade in commodities with ease via AFEX. So there were so many questions which were coming to my mind when I was thinking about commodities market in Africa. So I think that maybe AFEX can start up with some kind of knowledge series or something where they can be talking about warehouses, location of warehouses, and various service providers. So in general, should be knowing more about the market. They should be able to relate to the market very well. Then only it would become very easy for us also to attract more retail investors. Because if anybody would understand the market, that okay, how the market works, what are the trade timings, how the deliveries will be done, it would be very difficult for us also to convince people to come and trade in the market. So I guess there would be some kind of help we would require from AFEX as well to establish this market via Proshare.
Highlight of the event was the official signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. Mr. Ayodeji Balogun speaks further on the significance of the partnership to the commodities market.
We're quite excited about this. It is information, the market is a market of trust. And with trust comes information asymmetry. You can have, when there's information gaps, then you can have trust. The only way we can bridge that gap of what happens in the farming communities, how a farmer can be emancipated to become an economic actor, and then the retail investor in Lagos or the institutional investor that has idle cash and looks for assets, alternative asset class that he can invest. To make that whole world come together in one transaction comes with information transparency, and uniquely as a commodities exchange licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, our role is to ensure transparency and fairness in price discovery. So that's very fundamental to us, and we see Proshare as a strategic partner that will, one, disseminate independent opinions, trade market. So the agreement gives Proshare access to primary live trade data, and then they can process independently and inform the market. Secondly, it does educate the investing public about the different products created in ways that it's understandable to a non-core financial player, a consumer type person. And thirdly, it ensures that on the other side, what is happening in the fundamental agricultural space and how our country, how that affects our macro stability of the country. Other ancillary services are also available to both policymakers and the general public.
The strategic agreement between Proshare and AFEX marks a new dawn for Nigeria's capital market ecosystem, as it seeks to drive a vibrant commodities exchange that will boost the agri value chain and drive economic growth.